this year. As we are underway, Florida wins the tip. Florida in white, Arkansas in red. Let's have some fun here on this Sunday afternoon from Gainesville. We mentioned Florida coming off that home defeat against Mississippi State. Arkansas, meanwhile, they had an 11-point win at home against Alabama. Had a late surge in the fourth quarter to pull away. Kiki Smith from deep gets the Gators on the board.
And right off the bat, a three-point shot. I think we're going to see a lot of three-point shots this afternoon because both teams like to shoot it from deep.
Kiki Smith, that was her 14th made triple, coming in only shooting at 21% from deep, but an improved shooter. Meanwhile, Jalen Mason misfires, and this is what we're going to see all day long. A lot of threes hoisted up. Both teams in the top 25 in attempts in terms of threes. Smith, the penetration, and a foul underneath is going to go on Florida.
And with a lot of threes, you're going to get a lot of long rebounds, so it's going to be important to try to get in position to rebound the basketball.
We mentioned the amount of attempts. Arkansas, 521 three-point attempts coming in. That's first in the SEC. Gators are second with 481 attempts coming in. These two groups were 1 and 2 last year in the SEC. As Dungy can't float it home. Dungy, the outstanding transfer from Oklahoma. Arkansas has a couple of transfers on the roster that have really made a big impact as Nakasoglu hits the short jumper. 5-0 start for Florida. Britt, this is one way to bounce back after that loss on Thursday.
The confidence of shooting the ball well early in this game can bode well. And it's also just one of those feelings. You hit 1-3 already, and then you have Funda who knocks down that mid-range jumper. But the ability to see the basketball and see it go in, but also the openings for shots right now are there for Florida.
Meanwhile, Britt, no Delisha Washington today for Florida, out with concussion protocol. So enter Danielle Rainey into the starting lineup. This is her first start of the year. The TCU transfer has played fairly well in SEC play. Smith with the rebound has her second field goal make, and Mike Neighbors wants a timeout. He wants to talk it over, and we have an official timeout on the floor. 7-0 start for the orange and blue, just past 90 seconds gone by.
Clocked in the face, but needless to say, I mean, those things hurt, and you know, safety first, and that's what Florida wants to make sure that she's okay and everything's right before she sets foot on the floor again.
Here's Kiara Williams muscling in. A foul is called, and I'm sure if you talk to head coach Cam Neubauer, he'll mention the fact, just next player up in this situation. Of course, you'd love to have Delisha Washington in a game like this, but you have to have that mentality because things like this do happen in a long season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in a long season, you're bound to have one of your better players is going to get a tweaked ankle, might have to sit out a game, or might have to, things are going to happen, and that's why you make the most of your opportunities. When you get those chances to step in, and that's what you prepare for. You might not be the starter, but you're prepared to start in any game, and that's what Danielle Rainey is ready to do. She's coming in really strong SEC play early for Florida, knocking down her shots, shooting at a high percentage, and that's what you need when you're at the University of Florida or any school in the SEC, really.
Christina Moore stops the dribble, cut off by Dungy. Trying to find somebody, and does find the Australian Funda Nakasoglu. And Nakasoglu travels. Gators had some problems with turnovers on Thursday at 27 was a season high.
Some serious pressure from Mississippi State. They would press the entire floor, and then just great on-ball pressure. So that also, you know, you learn from that, what to do right and what you did wrong, and you want to change that in your game style. That was just a drive to the basket where the ball gets caught on Funda's hip, so a turnover takes place.
Here's Alexis Tolfree. She'll do that a lot.
Not shy about shooting.
Came in shooting at 166 times from deep. Entering the game, 49 three-point makes on the year. She's a JUCO transfer. Rainey will unload from deep. This well off the mark. She points up skyward saying, my bad.
Maybe just a little bit more legs on the next shot. That's a little bit short for Rainey. An open shot, though. So if you're Florida, you like to see the open shot from the top of the key that Arkansas is giving you.
Another three in this game between these two teams. Again, they will hoist the lot.
We might see a record amount of threes attempted in this game this afternoon.
Already 5 total between the two teams. Arkansas started the game 0 of 3 from deep. Gators 1 of 2. Smith, the lone three-point make. Rare post touch for Zeta Williams. Gators will try to exploit that. Some of the size they do have in Williams and Robinson today against one of the smaller teams in the SEC in Arkansas. As Tolfree gives it away. Here's Smith in transit for more.
And with a rare turnover by Arkansas, they don't turn the ball over very much at an alarmingly low rate. Only about 8.5 turnovers per game, or under 8 in the SEC. And they do not turn the ball over. So Florida wants to make the most of that, and they did in transition, getting buckets.
Dungy slipping through. And Williams puts it back in. Williams, one of the taller members of the roster at 6'1". Seen some games in SEC play this year for Florida in which they have gotten off to fast starts. One that really sticks out, that SEC opener against Alabama, were up 20 after one quarter as Williams lays it in on the inside.
And I think with that, you're up 11-3. You have control of this game. Tempo of this game favors you right now. How do you keep control of the game? And I think that's something that Florida's going to have to learn how to do, is when you're up in a game early, how do you control that, not allow Arkansas to go on a heavy run, a high run, to where they get back into the ball game.
Meanwhile, Arkansas now 0 of 4 from deep. This foul will be on Chelsea Dungy.
And I mean, I wouldn't say I would be shocked if you expected Arkansas to change what they're doing. I think they're going to continue to shoot threes because that's what they do. And that's what they do really well. So I don't expect them to change their offensive style too much. And we've already seen how quick they shoot it in the half court.
27th nationally in three-point makes coming in. As Arkansas foul underneath. Ariel Johnson was fouled by Alexis Tolfree. This is one of those games for the Razorbacks. Again, it's a group off to a surprising start, 4-2 in league play. So you don't want to use the word trap game because Arkansas, in a way, is still kind of a program that is still in the building process.
Oh yeah, 100%. But they're on a 3-game winning streak,
right?
And they had a big win, only the second win ever at Thompson Bowl Arena against Tennessee last week, and so they're riding that high as well. They're trying to go on a 4-game winning streak right now, and you know that does weigh a little bit when you're trying to rebuild a program and you're expected to finish 11th in the SEC, but you're tied for 3rd right now. So you have that pressure saying, hey, no, actually, you know, we've got to keep this up.
Meanwhile, Williams gets the bucket, second field goal make and 10 offensive possessions to start the game for Arkansas. As we reach the midway mark in the opening 10 minutes. Johnson on the pull-up, that's cash.
And another player for Florida who, whether she's in the starting role, she's had to start a few times, or she's coming off the bench, she has that scorer's mentality. And I mean, once you see teammates scoring the basketball, Florida getting stops and scoring on the offensive end, it builds confidence throughout the team.
Nakasoglu on the drive is fouled. As Nakasoglu getting aggressive in transition. Seeing the Gators pushing the pace, that's what Arkansas loves to do. It's pretty much the Razorbacks' identity.
Shooting 2 shots for the Gators.
Yeah, they're a team who sometimes looks to just outshoot you. They want to have more attempts than you, and that's going to happen just by the sheer numbers of, if you bring the ball up and you shoot within 4 or 5 seconds of passing half court, you're going to get more shot opportunities. And that's what they try to do a lot of the times, just beat you by those sheer numbers of, we get more attempts, so we're going to knock down more shots than you do.
And play the way, like we mentioned in the open, functionally fast. So play with some pace, but don't turn the ball over, and they've done that all year.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what happens. When you shoot the ball so quick into the shot clock, it limits your ability to turn the ball over. So you don't turn it over because you're getting a shot attempt instead of a possible turnover.
Here's Dungy, the Oklahoma transfer. This is a long 2. It's been a rough offensive start for Arkansas, now shooting it south of 20%. Game best lead for the Gators at 10.
You can see Florida on the flip side. They want to run their offense. They want to get the best shot that they can and really try to make Arkansas work on defense.
Contested look for Johnson from deep. Razorbacks average about 74 points per game. Last year was about 67 points per game. So the offensive production, again, skyrocketing for this team.
And I think one of those is the Oklahoma transfer, Dungy. She's averaging 16.7 points per game, and she looks to score the basketball when she has the opportunity to. She can drive to the basket. She can shoot the 3. She also shoots really well from the free throw line. So if she gets to the line, she's shooting at about 78% there. So she has that scores mentality. And really for her, a lot of times, no shot's a bad shot.
And in the league for Dungy, averaging 16 points per game in SEC games this year. Bailey Zimmerman from way out there. Thomas can't corral the rebound. Ripped away by Ariel Johnson. Cold start continues, but Monk's there defensively. She stepped out.
And you can see Florida running over to help their teammate up. That's what you want to see. No lackadaisical play in Florida when a teammate hits the ground. That's something that they're good about. That's what they want to be known for is, hey, we're running to help you up. You took a fall to the ground. And it was just cool to see all 4 of the players running to help their teammate Johnson up.
Meanwhile, Britt, for Arkansas, 9 one-and-done possessions in their 13 of this opening quarter.
That's going to be an offensive foul. That's one of those you've got to wait for the screen to be set, and you can't roll too quick. A lot of times Robinson gets caught in that position of rolling a little bit too quick, but also the guard moving. You can see she steps out and just gets her hip caught with a little extension of the leg.
And that's been the biggest issue for Paige. One, the foul trouble, but those moving screens all year long.
And it's a twofold. When you're a post player, sometimes the guard leaves too soon and they leave you hanging because you haven't established your ground yet. So that's one of those where you've really got to work with your guards to learn, I'm going to sit here and wait when I'm going to roll, and the timing of it has to be just right.
Arkansas now 0 for 6 from deep to start the game. Prior look from Zimmerman. This is more how the Gators want to play. Slow it up, play in the half court.
That also limits the times that Arkansas can shoot the basketball. If you run more clock on offense, get good looks, they can't get quite as many shot attempts up.
Now Monk off and running. Monk towards the rim in traffic. Trying to get her own miss, but leaks out towards Rainey. She doesn't have numbers here. Will take it all the way to the basket, off glass and in.
And that's one of those, if you're going to take it in 1-on-3, 1-on-4, you better make it. Because you might be seeing a little bit of the bench if you don't put that in. But a good attack, she finishes strong, so hey, she takes it in with confidence.
Gators on a mini 6-0 spurt. Game best lead at 12. Arkansas 14% from the floor to start this game. Mason threw it away, was looking for Thomas on the pick and roll. Second Arkansas turnover. Johnson just lost it underneath.
Trying to split the defense, got a little bit too tight and lost the handle driving to the basket. On the flip side, Florida's defense against Arkansas really not allowing them to get the shots that they really want with good looks. That's one of the reasons why Arkansas is just not shooting well at all right now. 14%, 2 of 14 from the field.
Gators come in trying to find that second league win at 1-5. Lone SEC win coming on this floor against Missouri, so Gators know they are capable. Finish that game on a 10-0 run. Dungy, a wild look.
Again, Florida's defense. You've got to credit their defense in not allowing Dungy to find an open player because of the denial that Florida was putting on.
Nakasoglu from deep. Here's Raven North cross Baker. Brilliant look inside for Thomas. Foul on Manu de Oliveira.
And that's a foul on rotation where you've got to, if you're going to make that foul, you've got to do it the way that she did. A clean foul on the backside, not allow them to get that and one opportunity, because Kyle, those are the plays where if they get a little slip to the basket like that and an and one, that can really get the momentum swing back to their side. So a good strong foul, not allowing that and one possibility.
So Taylor Thomas at the line had a career-high 15-point performance against Alabama on Thursday. What was that, 11-point win? Finished up that game 7 of 10 from the floor, was a career-high in field goal attempts and makes in that game against the Crimson Tide. Back to a 10-point game. Here's Rainey off the curl and off glass and down for Danielle Rainey. Playing with a different sense of aggression is Danielle Rainey.
I think she knows she's going to get more minutes onto the floor this afternoon because Delisha Washington isn't in, and she already has the scorer's mentality. That's what she wants to do. She wants to come in and put points on the board, and so she has that mentality already, and with the known, hey, I'm going to get more minutes on the floor, she's taking that and making the most.
Meanwhile, Britt, Arkansas 0 of their last 7. They're 0 of 7 from 3. De Oliveira down the lane, left it short. Will be Arkansas basketball. But when you take as many threes as Arkansas does, you're never out of a game.
Oh, 100% no. You're not out of the game. And when you have a shooter's mentality from the three-point line, you've got to have that, well, we haven't hit, you're going to keep shooting, because that is their identity. They shoot it from deep, and that's what they like to do. So don't expect them to stop shooting the three-point shot just because they haven't hit one yet.
Offensive foul off the ball. Looks like Jalen Mason will pick it up. Meanwhile, season low for a first quarter output for Arkansas is 9 points. Right now nestled at 7, and Florida can hold for the final shot.
If you're Arkansas, just nothing going your way. All right, nothing's going right now. You're not shooting the ball well from outside. You're defensively, you're turning the ball over offensively, and defensively, Florida's getting great looks at the basket.
Also on the floor for Florida, Kiki Smith.
Final 10 seconds. Smith lost the dribble as the seconds fade away. And that will bring us to a close of the opening quarter. Meanwhile, Christina Moore is down and she is hurt.
Yeah, I saw that in the scramble for the ball where she went over, and I don't know Florida, but they're already checking back at her.
So we start quarter number 2, and it was an opening 10 minutes to forget for Arkansas. They only had 2 made field goals in the first quarter and were 0 of 7 from deep. And here they turn it over to start the second. Interception from Williams. Nakasoglu trying to work off the ball, well covered by Northcross Baker. Here's Johnson off the curl. Open look, De Oliveira from 3. You bet.
And everything continuing to go right for Florida right now offensively. You can see the ball movement, the inside-out play. That's a wide-open 3 for Florida that they want, and they're knocking it down. That's the big thing, is you're knocking down those open shots that Arkansas is getting you.
That one, as the shot clock was bleeding away, there was no panic from the Gators on that half-court set. Mason zipping in for 2. Much needed basket for Arkansas. Now 3 of 17 as a team.
And if you're Arkansas, you're coming to the second quarter saying, hey, it can't be much worse. Let's get better at what we're doing. Maybe a drive to the basket. Again, just seeing the ball go in to the basket.
Meanwhile, underneath, off the ball, Zeta Williams picking up the foul.
Florida foul is on Zeta
Again,
Williams.
a nice inside out, a kickback, and an open 3.
It looks like that foot was behind
well
the line.
behind. Yeah,
Both.
well behind the line.
Zimmerman fouled by De Oliveira. Trying to fight in the lane.
And if you're Arkansas, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get it inside a little bit. They haven't hit from outside. They'll probably continue to shoot from outside. I would be shocked if they didn't. But they're such a good free throw shooting team, Kyle. They're second in the SEC in percentage from the line. And so they want to try to stop the clock, I would imagine, and get the points that they can, because they shoot the ball so well from the line. And that's an easy way to try to chip back into ball games.
Last 5 games coming in, Arkansas 49 of 62 at the line, 79% as a team. And they get there a bunch in terms of attempts. They've had at least 15 games with 15 free throw attempts. Rainey had some aggression in the first quarter. Got sealed off by Mason. Resets with Johnson. Limited space for Rainey. Can't knock down. Williams has the board. Curls it up and in.
And what a great rebound. What a great rebounding position by Zeta Williams. Let's talk about that. She went on the roll, and then she positioned herself so well for that offensive rebound and putback.
Meanwhile, it's been an 0 of 3 start for Malika Monk.
They're going to call a double dribble in transition. When you're pushing the ball like that, Arkansas does a great job of getting back and cause that turnover.
Let's take another look at that prior Florida basket. Zeta Williams bodying on the inside. This is a Florida team that won the offensive rebound margin against Mississippi State on Thursday.
And it's one of the reasons they're up so much right now. They have 20 rebounds already in the game. To Arkansas's just 9.
Meanwhile, Dungy's first points. Johnson quickly on the other end. Rainey soaring in on the offensive glass again for the Gators.
And what an athletic catch and put back by the guard to go in there, soar above. And you see Delisha Washington really liking it because that's what she likes to do. That's how she goes in for rebounds. She skies in from the outside because at that guard position, it gives you that mobility to be able to move around players and fly in from the three-point line.
Meanwhile, Britt, you're seeing a change in how Arkansas is attacking offensively, more slashing to the rim as opposed to settling for three-point shots.
And they can do that. They do look to do that. That's one of the things they like to run in transition. And when they're in transition, they look to make that extra quick pass for a layup. And, I mean, again, when you shoot the ball so well from the free throw line, why not attack that way?
Dungy, somebody who sat out last year with the transfer rules and took advantage of that, lost about 35 pounds just working out, focusing on sleep, recovery, and coming back in different shape this year for Mike Neighbors. I read an article said that she became a vegetarian as part of that diet, try and cut some weight and come back a bit slimmer and faster. Gators throw it away. Meanwhile, Arkansas off to that 4-2 start in the SEC for the 6th time in program history. Britt, they've only had 2 winning years in the conference, 2 times in their program's history. Last time was the 11-12 season. Here's Rainey in transition, just had it ripped away by North Cross Baker.
That was an interesting play of possession because Rainey goes in, but then you see Arkansas with the ball in their hands kind of throwing it back, trying to throw it back in bounds because she stripped it out all in one motion. You can see Florida, they're looking to attack off of missed shots by Arkansas right now or turnovers.
Shot partially deflected by North Cross Baker. Now it's Monk in transit, open look from deep, and she's got it.
And again, those are the type of shots that can get this Arkansas team back into ball games really quick. Those quick shots in transition.
Monk, one of 7 Arkansas players, 1,000+ points, 250+ rebounds, and 300+ assists. And it's Monk again with the takeaway.
And
all alone for 2.
And she knows how to turn it on like that. She had 23 points at Tennessee. She's a senior that really knows how to score the basketball.
Meanwhile, Arkansas making a run to make it a 7-point game. It's been the Malika Monk show prior to the official timeout. 7-0 run for the Hogs. Gators by 7. X Games.
Yes, I watched it for you the other day.
Yeah,
I didn't want people to be a liar. I didn't want to be. If I had you on Snap, I was going to snap a picture and be like, I'm watching your guy.
You're really into it.
I like it. I'm a fan.
So Jackson Strong going for a big night in the X Games. We'll be tuning in. Meanwhile, Arkansas on a 7-0 run to trim this to a 7-point Gator lead. Gators have gotten sloppy with the basketball prior to that official timeout. Gators 17 turnovers in this first half. Nakasoglu weaving in the lane as the shot clock eroded. Rejection from Williams. Gators all out of sorts offensively right now.
Arkansas coming out of that timeout with a more aggressive style defense, playing the passing lanes even more, not allowing Florida to get the looks, the easier looks that they have early in this game.
And what is not good news for Florida, the resurgence from Malika Monk, as we have a wedgie. Basketball is caught between the rim and the glass. Dungy on the drive was fouled.
So they're going to go to the line to shoot 2 shots if they can get the basketball down where it's stuck on the left side. And get one of the managers.
I can throw the headset off.
Go ahead, Kyle. Get up there.
I used to dunk back in the day.
go up there. Yeah, I as well, but I really did.
Meanwhile, Britt, that's 3 on Manu de Oliveira, so
That's big for Florida because of the fact that they're shorthanded right now on the bench. With more out right now,
and
you have Delisha Washington.
Position,
yes,
too.
at that specific tumble up my words, position, at that post position, they don't have a lot of depth right now. But then sometimes when they don't, they'll slide it in and play one post and play guard heavy.
Right.
But they don't even have that really right now because Delisha Washington's out as well.
Well, we said earlier, you have to have the next player up mentality. So Steph Brower, was a walk-on who got scholarship this offseason, will enter in. He's played mop-up minutes to this point. We'll have to play some critical minutes today.
And that's not foreign to her. Last year, she had to come in and play critical minutes in big-time games. I think at Tennessee and at Texas A&M, she put in some valuable minutes for this Florida team. So she has that SEC in big game minutes.
Smith on the perimeter. Knocks down a triple, her second of the day.
And we talk a lot about, Funda and her ability to shoot the three, but Kiki Smith is that scorer's point guard mentality, and she's really picked up her confidence, I think, shooting the ball in SEC games, specifically from the three-point line.
Averaging about 8.5 points per game in SEC play is Kiki Smith. She's now 2 for 2 from deep as Arkansas is one and done. Brower on the drive towards the rim was fouled, and Brower will head towards the line.
And a smart play. You see the shot fake at the three-point line to get Arkansas off their feet a little bit. A clean drive to the basket. The help side comes over a little bit too late, and she finds herself at the free throw line.
Steph Brower joined the program last year, mid-December, as a walk-on, because the Gators last year just needed some bodies to help out in practice and fill out the roster.
So they put out a little look for some walk-ons.
Yeah.
And found a good one in Steph Brower.
Outstanding student.
Yes.
Steph Brower. She's the second Gator to wear number 55.
Big V.
Program history.
Vanessa Hayden.
Vanessa Hayden, an All-American, used to wear that number.
I saw that one often.
Yeah.
Nice little high-low game action. She would show her numbers, and you gave her the ball, and she had great hands and finished strong around the basket.
Here's Monk with the acceleration for 2. Minimal resistance as Monk has the basket now with 7 points, and she is heated up in a hurry.
And we talked about her in the open and just her ability and her mindset. She averages 30 minutes per game in conference play. And so she's used to being on the court in those positions. She wants to bring her team back. We talk about the senior leadership that she brings as well.
Quick load up for Kiki Smith. How about another from deep?
And I think Arkansas is so worried about where Funda is on the three-point line. They've forgotten about Kiki Smith, and she's making them pay.
Dunzy trying to find the answer. Long rebound for Ariel Johnson. A 3 for 3 start from deep for Kiki Smith. She's 4 of 5 shooting from the floor. Already in double figures with 11. 7 times she's been in double figures this year. Funda from the corner. Last touch underneath. Arkansas will be Florida basketball.
And again, a good look outside by Funda that just hasn't fallen yet. She hadn't been able to get a shot made from the three-point line, but she has 4 attempts. She's getting some good looks, just not connecting early on.
Funda has had 3 assists so far, so impacting the game in other ways.
And she always is going to do that, whether it's offensively or defensively. Her shot might not always be falling, but she's always going to do that extra effort, getting people in the right position, making the extra pass to find the hot hand, because she knows as a shooter, when you have the hot hand, you want to get the ball in repeated possessions and to let it fly because you're feeling it. And so she knows that, so she's trying to find those players who are.
Taylor Thomas was tagged with the foul. That was her first. It's been a nice response from Florida after Arkansas went on that 7-0 run to trim it to 7 points. Meanwhile, Williams has had her struggles at the foul line this year, 44%. Empty trip. Dungey down the lane for 2, and that was easy
Yeah,
for Chelsea Dungey.
and that was an easy, quick hitter. It was just a two-man high. They passed the ball in, and she just waited for one post player to slip to open up that right side of the lane, just curled and took it in with minimal contact.
Rainey misfires from deep, rebound for Alexis Tolfree. And they get out and run for the trailer. Thomas to the rim.
A great little no-look pass back to her teammate and Thomas, who lays it in quick. That's a great offensive push. Tolfree to Thomas, nice and easy.
We have a foul on Florida. Believe Steph Brower will be whistled with this one, as Tolfree active on both sides with the dime at the one end and a foul on the other.
You can see
draws.
just what a pretty pass back to a trailing Thomas. She knew exactly where she was, and that's what they like to do. You look in transition, no look. She saw that with her peripheral. She didn't even make the head look. You see a lot of players who kind of look back and then look forward again. She saw her and she knew where she was, because that's what they like to do, and that's just a really pretty play.
Meanwhile, Arkansas is in the bonus. That was the 5th team foul on Florida, so free throws for Alexis Tolfree. The transfer from Jones County Junior College. Another one of the big impact transfers for Arkansas, about 10 points per game in SEC play.
A really big impact player for this team, and you see it not just offensively. Yeah, she's put up 160 plus threes for them, but also defensively, back-to-back steals for them. Very active defensively, very quick.
Johnson can't find the answer. Rebound from Malika Monk. Again, the push for Thomas, and she traveled.
But you can see how quick, Kyle, do you see how quick they're getting the ball off the rim, and you see 4 or 5 players from Arkansas sprinting down the floor looking to get a layup. It's just how quick they can score offensively. They're never out of the ball game.
And when Malika Monk realized this is the tempo that head coach Mike Neighbors likes to play, she really lit up. She said, I can't believe I'm able to play this fast and just get out and run and do whatever I want with the ball, in a sense.
Because it's not a mindset of get out, let's set up some offense. If the offense is going to be set up, it's a really quick hitter offense.
Meanwhile, the Gators have missed their last 4 shots. Arkansas creeping within 4. It's Thomas to cut it to 2.
And you can see that. That's a 4-out, 1-in. Monk didn't have a lane to the basket. They post up their big, an immediate in for a layup.
How about this 8-0 run for the Hogs? 32-30 now. Gators had a lead once at 12.
Oh, yeah, and he's not going to be happy with that. Arkansas really wanted an offensive foul. One ref, I think they're talking about it right now. And they're going to go with a charge. The offensive arm caught, I think, the angle that the baseline ref saw versus the top.
Take another look at that, as it was right in front of the Arkansas bench. They all hopped up in frustration. Good positioning there for Monk.
Good position because she slipped a little bit. She slipped and held her position, which caught Johnson off guard. And I think that's why she had the little off-arm shove.
And the largest lead for Florida was actually 15. That was about 50 seconds into this second quarter. Dungey again to the basket for 2, and we are tied.
You can see in that drive the athleticism in which Dungey plays. She attacks the basket, avoided the charge and the blocking call. And so she just got in there really easy and finished.
Last 7 possessions now, the Gators 0 of 5 from the floor. They had all the answers in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Credit this Arkansas defense making the adjustments.
So if you're Florida right now, you really want to limit Arkansas's looks right now. You don't want to let them get a couple possessions to close out the half, because you've let your leads now slip. And you want to finish strong going into halftime.
Meanwhile, Monk has given Arkansas their first lead of the game. Monk now with 9 points. It's tied for a team high for the Razorbacks. Shot clock trimming down. Here's Smith, another 3. You bet! Another triple for Kiki Smith.
And that's just a huge shot for Florida. Kiki Smith feeling it from the three-point line. She's 4 of 4 now. That's a great find for Florida and amongst an offensive set that wasn't going well. And the Arkansas lost where Smith was. They kicked it out to her, and she knocks down a huge momentum 3 for Florida.
Mason, a triple, has the answer right at the second quarter buzzer.
And then the momentum swing back right to Arkansas with the last second 3 knockdown.
So Arkansas has the lead at the break, 37-35. The Gators as well. Minute Oliveira's out with 3 personal fouls to start this third.
So as a result, you see a different starting lineup to start the second half for this Florida team.
Not a good start for the orange and blue as Funda turns it over. 10th team turnover for the Gators. That's the opening trip for Arkansas offensively in this third. Dungy off the fend-off, no whistle. The pull-up says why not, and hits.
And Dungy, again, a player who, she got hot in that second quarter. She was missing early in the game, but she started feeling it. Now 4 of 10 from the field.
She played her freshman season at Oklahoma, averaged about 7.5 points per game as a Sooner. Just said it wasn't the right fit, was nothing specific, just wasn't the place for her, and since transfer to Arkansas has made a big impact this year under head coach Mike Neighbors in year number 2. Game best lead at 4 for the Razorbacks. Johnson on a pull-up. This will be last touch by Dungy underneath.
Florida basketball.
Just couldn't corral it enough to bring it in, to try that push on offense. She got in her position. She got positioned down low on Florida, but it just rolls off her leg.
A lot of youth right now in this lineup for the Florida Gators. As Johnson trying to track down the pass. What a hustle from Alexis Tolfree. The lone senior for the Gators is Nakasoglu, buries the 3 with contact.
And because of that hustle, it leaves her out of the play, and Florida does a good job of saying, hey, they're down a player, let's push it back in, gets them out of position. What a huge shot by Funda in the corner to take the and 1 3. You see the rotation is a little bit late, and she just kind of gives that hand high five when she rotates down after the release, hits her hand.
The ability to finish that follow through with contact. For Nakasoglu now has 8 points. That was her first 3-point make of the day. Gators have tied it up. Tolfree from deep, Arkansas one and done. And tied on 2 separate occasions in this game. Gators once had a first half lead of 15. Nakasoglu again, and she's starting to heat up.
And the little kickback assist on the drive penetration in. Funda just filled and rotated over. That was a design play to get her open. And again, we talk about hitting the hot hand, and that's what Florida's done. Funda hits one shot, and the next play down, the next offensive series, they find her again.
The crowd silencer from Chelsea Dungy, who hits the jumper. Cutting into what was a 7-0 spurt for the Gators. Start this third quarter. Open look for Rainey on a triple, you bet.
And now we're seeing this 3-point game pick up for Florida. That's kind of what we expected in this game, was a game of threes. We didn't really get it in the first half, but this second half, Florida's come in and they're knocking down the threes early.
Gators around their SEC average. They average north of 7.5 threes per game, already with 8. This one knocked out will be Florida basketball. Well, this is one way to respond if you're Florida after Arkansas had a 15-3 run to claim the lead going into half.
And just Arkansas, they were in a zone, and they had late rotations. You see this possession down, they go into man, and Florida almost hits another 3.
Here's Williams in transition. Brilliant look from Monk.
A phenomenal find by Monk. At half court, right in front of us, she rewarded her post player for running down the middle of the floor, and Williams gets the recipient of a really nice pass right down the middle of the lane.
300-plus assists in Monk's career. Now it's Mason looking to push for the tie. Gets the roll.
And you can see there's no panic in Arkansas when they go down because they know how quickly they can score, even if they're not shooting well. And they're not shooting well from the three-point line, only 2 of 11 for the game, well under their average.
This is definitely the pace we expected coming in, what we've seen in the first 4 minutes of the third. Rainey to the basket, lips off the rim. Lob ahead for Dungy, it's 2-on-1. Dungy all alone.
Yeah.
Oh, count the basket. Foul on Kiki Smith.
You can see the decision-making by Dungy in transition. She noticed that Kiki Smith was a little out of position, so she went ahead and just took that jump stop in. You can see in transition, Funa tries to go for the ball, but just guess that's one of those that might have could have gone a little bit either way. She's there, but is she inside the charge circle?
Yeah, that would be the one question.
Yeah.
She definitely had stagnant positioning. One thing that sticks out about Chelsea Dungy has been her aggression. 15 points today, now 16.
Now right at her, almost at her, Stephen. She's at 16.7 for the season. And there's a lot of basketball left.
Both Dungy and Nakasoglu coming in with identical averages in terms of points per game. Johnson from deep. Goddard miss, crashing the glass. That's something this Florida team prides itself on. Here's Smith, her first three-point miss of the day. Now bodies tangle, ball is loose for Williams. It's got knocked out by Monk.
There's a lot of change of possession in that series. You can see both players, both teams really wanting that basketball, and it changed hands quite a bit, but the hustle play by both teams.
Williams a rare three. You can see why there, but Smith has the board for Staples.
And again, just staying with the play. The off shot, getting back in the play was Kiki Smith off the underneath out of bounds. The help side came, but Corey Staples on the backside for 2.
Tolfree zipping in. It's Williams with another rebound, muscles up, and was fouled. You could see after every possession, head coach Cam Neubauer of Florida, he's on his feet telling his team to get back defensively.
Yeah, it's the importance of getting back against this Arkansas team because of the way that they can score. And they're quick in transition. We've seen it in this game. They'll not just come up and they might pull a 3 in transition, but they look to get to the rim and make that extra pass. They've had really great transitional plays in the SEC.
That was the third on Zeta Williams, so that's a big foul. Gators' primary number 5 players coming out. Robinson will have to come in.
And if you're Arkansas and if you're players, I mean, you can turn and you can look at the bench. And you know, hey, we need to get them in foul trouble if you're Arkansas because they have a limited bench now. And so that's a mindset and that's a leadership coming in and saying, hey, let's look to attack. Let's look to get them in foul trouble because that's going to bode well for us.
Meanwhile, Arkansas has had 15 free throw attempts for the 16th time this year. It's a group that continues to get to the line early and often. Rainey needs to find a teammate. Here's Nakasoglu, got off to a hot start in this third. Scoops it up and in and 1. Crafty from the Australian.
Wow. You can see she has no panic. No panic at all when the shot clock's going down. A nice lane to the basket, takes the and 1 scoop shot in for the score.
Well, buckle in. This has been a lot of fun. 5 and change deep into this third quarter. Nakasoglu to the rim. We're tied at 49.
Basketball offensively right now.
It's been exciting from Funa Nakasoglu. Drove to the rim and somehow got it off the window.
That was a pretty shot around the defense, just scooped it around. And that's a veteran move from a veteran guard.
Funa, 10 of her 14 points coming in this third quarter. Here's Monk, and she can score fast. It's like a heavyweight fight with both teams exchanging blows every single trip. Almost from the logo. She has that type of distance.
She has that range. It's not a shock if she shoots it from there because she can knock it down. You're not mad at that.
Monk is so impressive getting out in transition. We say it often. Just getting to the rim. Razorbacks back by 3. Meanwhile, it's Robinson at the cup to cut it to 1. Both teams have 2 in double figures. Game highs from Chelsea Dungy with 16, and now Monk has 15 points. That a long 2. Monk, the native of North Little Rock, Arkansas, 16 games in double figures this year. Her season high is 23, and she had the game winner in that game. She had 23 against Tennessee. It was a short pull-up with about 3 seconds left in that game. Rainey on a triple, Gators 1 and done. It's a 3 from Mason, rips the net.
And what you did, if you notice there, Mason, she had a 2. She had a catch and shoot 2, but she backed up for the 3. And that's just about court awareness of where you are and your comfortability to be able to knock down that 3-point shot, but knowing where you are on the court and saying, hey, I'm just going to take a step back and shoot a 3.
Mason comes in terms of team best in 3-point percentage. Rainey zipping to the cup.
And with that, Rainey's got a double-double. 10 rebounds and now 11 points.
It's the first career double-double for Danielle Rainey. She started SEC play with a career high against Missouri. And that comeback victory.
A huge shot by
Bailey Zimmerman.
Huge shot for this Arkansas team to step back and hit that 3. But talking a little bit about Danielle Rainey and the mentality that she had coming into this game, I think because Delisha Washington was not going to be able to play. And so I think she took over that role of, I'm going to attack the glass. I'm going to get those guard rebounds to fill the void with Washington out. And she's done just that with 10 already on the game.
Meanwhile, a foul was called. Third team foul on Arkansas. It's Jalen Mason who picks it up. You get the sense, Britt, that this is a turning point of sorts.
Yes.
You got to keep this a single-figure game if you're the Gators. It just shows how quickly Arkansas can balloon that lead because they're such a good 3-point shooting team.
And it's the mentality, too, that they have. Even though they haven't been hitting the 3, you can see they're not shy of shooting it.
Nakasoglu was hit. There was no whistle for a foul as Johnson floats it up, and there comes the whistle underneath. Ariel Johnson will head towards the line. Meanwhile, Arkansas on the other side, they've hit their last, rather be a baseline out of bounds here. Arkansas has hit their last 5 shots to balloon this to a game-best lead at 7. Here to take a look at head coach Mike Neighbors in year number 2. Former head coach at Washington from 2013 to 2017. Finished 2nd in the Pac-12 in his last year as Huskies head coach. Was a former assistant for 1 year at Arkansas in the 06-07 season. One of 2 SEC head coaches to play at their alma mater. As Williams gets the hook to go, the other Holly Warlick at Tennessee. It's a big basket for the Gators to cut this to 5. Dungy left that one well short.
Basketball.
But a really quick shot for Arkansas. But we're not surprised with that because that's one of the ways they got back into this ball game, but that's just how they play.
Final 90 seconds of the quarter. This one was kicked.
Kicking violation.
Florida looking to get the ball back inside to kind of establish that inside-out game if they need it.
Again, Arkansas, one of the smaller teams in the conference, average height of about 5'7" coming in.
And I think that might be one of the reasons, too, is their mentality is, we're going to push it up the floor, we're going to score quick because we don't have that size advantage inside. We don't want to allow our defense who we're playing against to establish their defense, to get into the zone or the man that they want to where they can pressure up. So we're going to shoot quick, we're going to be quick, and we're going to think quick on offense.
Their best player is at 5'5" and Malika Monk. Mason running all over the floor with Nakasoglu. Nakasoglu had it taken away by Monk. In a flash to the rim.
Wow. Again, just another read. She slips it right through. She's so quick that she just splits the defense, and you can see the way that she just maneuvered her body in there to slide right through really 3 Florida players for a layup.
What an efficient night for Monk. 17 points on 8 of 11 shooting. Arkansas really ratcheting up the pressure on defense. Both teams trying to catch their collective breath and what this pace that we've had in this third quarter.
And that's one of those paces that Arkansas likes. Arkansas likes the back and forth, really quick style play.
Ball is loose for Monk. She's all alone. Game best lead now at 9 for Arkansas. Monk now with 19 points.
And with that, she's creeping closer and closer to a new career high.
Gators can hold for the final shot. Arkansas has scored 28 points in this quarter, at a season high 30 points in the second quarter. After a season low 7 points in the first. Final 3 seconds. 1 to play. De Oliveira, does she get it off? Shot was well off the mark. Arkansas finishes the stanza hitting 7 of their last 8 shots and turning defense into offense with a game best lead at 9 as Malika Monk, like she's done all year, in transit for 2.
38 points in the paint, and I think that's where it really kind of made the difference. Is they didn't just settle for the 3-point shot. It wasn't particularly falling for them, so they said, hey, we're going to take it inside the arc a little bit, and they established that game inside with the transition layups that are points in the paint. They had 15 points off turnovers for the game right now.
Meanwhile, good news for the Gators. They were down by 9 heading into the fourth against Missouri, came back to win that game, down by a similar margin, down by 9 to start this fourth. As Arkansas is 2 and done on that trip, opening offensive set for the Gators to start this fourth. Here's Smith to the rim, and she's had a tremendous day. We'll head towards the line.
Yeah, she really has. She's come off offensively exploding for this Florida team, and just, again, a smart attack to the basket.
Kiki Smith with 14 points. Her career high as a Gator was 15, came against Auburn, so a chance to tie that with this free throw. Gators now 4 of 9 from the free throw line. But a day the Gators have had no Delisha Washington, Christina Moore out in the first half.
And interestingly, the leading rebounders right now are your guards. Kiki Smith has 7, and Danielle Rainey has 10. And now Kiki has 8. So your guards are really stepping it up in their rebounding game.
You kind of see that when you have so many three-pointers attempted, long rebounds. Here's Rainey from deep. Rainey was a big part of that comeback against Missouri in the fourth quarter. First career double-double for Danielle Rainey, 11 points and 10 boards. Arkansas looking for their 4th straight win in the league. Stays with the Hogs. But what an offensive resurgence for Arkansas after a season-low 7 points in the first, 30 in the second, 28 in the third quarter. Shot clock eroding inside 5. It's Mason who will take another rebound for Taylor Thomas, who threw that one off the glass. Hit the backside of the glass. I believe it's a dead ball. Thomas had a reset on the 30. Not sure if she knew that with the shot selection.
And just asking for he's asking for some clarification, but he's saying, hey, my fault. I called for something different. You can see on the shot, looks like it skimmed the bottom, but yeah. Guess not. I think that's what they were thinking.
Meanwhile, Nakasoglu back on the floor for Florida. Open look, Nakasoglu on a triple.
And she's gonna hit that more times than not. What a great play, drawn up and executed by Florida. That was a great execution play.
And Brittany across the way. Cam Neubauer is trying to get this crowd fired up here at home.
And that's the type of play that gets you fired up. You can see Funda, she's fading away on a catch and three over to the side off of a great execution offensively by Florida.
Nakasoglu coming in with absurd percentage from deep, 47% from three. Dungy muscling in towards the rim. Impressive from Chelsea Dungy.
And she's the guard. She's a 5'11 guard, and she is a 5'11 guard. It's not, she's just playing it. So she has that guard and just kind of going in there to sneak attack. But there's some players in the post in the SC that are around 5'11. You see 6 foot. So she's a very active guard that can attack the way that she does.
Former Oklahoma Gatorade Player of the Year in 2014. Rainey a three. You bet again. Danielle Rainey trims the Razorback lead to 4. 14 now for Danielle Rainey, 2 of 9 from deep. North Cross Baker, a rare 3 attempt from her. Hasn't really been in the flow of the offense, but another offensive rebound for the Razorbacks. Around the bend for Dungy in the prompt response.
And you can see Arkansas saying, hey, we can hit the 3 too. But what just a heartbreak for Florida in that you go, you get the shot that you want, they miss it, and then they get the rebound for a 3.
Back to a 7-point lead. Dungy was held scoreless in the first quarter since, 21 points on 8 of 11 shooting, and the Gators give it right back.
And really, I mean, that's the mindset. If you're 0 of 5 in the first quarter, but you still look to attack, and it came to her, and that's what happened. That's why she's sitting at 21 points right now, because she didn't hang her head and sulk. She found ways to keep herself involved and had the confidence to knock down those, I think, inside the arc shots to build it to outside where she's 1 of 4.
Meanwhile, Minute Oliveira picks up her 4th. Mentioned the limited depth in the front court for the Gators. As De Oliveira most likely will come out, Gators will have to play smaller as Ariel Johnson comes in.
But having to play smaller against this Arkansas team doesn't really hurt Florida that much, because Arkansas is a smaller team and they tend to play small anyway. They really go 4 around 1, and that's what they're doing right now. They got 1 inside with Thomas, and then everybody else is working around her to find those open slips to the basket, just like they did.
Monk is just outstanding now with 21 points. She's had a plethora of big shots this year. She's had 3 game-winning shots for the Razorbacks this season. Johnson from the corner. Gators needed that one.
And again, a great drawn-up play, a wide-open 3 for Florida in the corner that they just couldn't get to knock down, but the shot's there.
Rare miss from Monk. Biggest thing for the Gators has been the issue all year, stringing together defensive stops in crunch time. This current edge tied for a game best right now at 9 for Arkansas. Nakasoglu from way out there.
And I'm not sure why Arkansas would slide underneath that when Funda's staying out. Yeah, she's far. She's about 3 feet behind the 3-point line, maybe 4. But if you're Arkansas, you've got to step up on her. And if they don't, if you're Florida, you find her and she just lets it fly.
Funda with 20, 9th game with at least 20 points this year. Monk inside was hit by Kiki Smith. Monk cannot be denied.
And that's one of the things that Monk is so good at, attacking the basket and drawing contact in. I mean, Kiki Smith is in that position, but it's the way, Monk just kind of moves her body around when she's driving to the basket. She gets those calls.
It's the first trip to the line for Monk today. She was 10 of her last 12 at the line coming in, hits the first. As Tollfree's out, Jalen Mason is in, a 3-point threat for Arkansas. Lead back to 8.
See Florida slowing it down a little bit, allowing themselves to set up on offense and get the look that they want.
Tough look for Rainey, loose ball for Robinson. Gators will reset. It's a long 2. Rainey with the hustle play.
Tracking down another rebound. Super active on the glass today.
Inside 5 to go. Around an airborne defender. This place was getting set to erupt.
Yes, it was, and that's the ability that Funda brings to the floor. That excitement. Smart heads-up play, shot fake, one dribble over for a cleaner look. And I mean, if you're Florida, the one thing that you can look at and say is, hey, yeah, we missed it on one end, but Arkansas is going to shoot so quick, we're going to get it back quickly.
Gators trying to rely on their best player. 9th game with at least 20 points. Nakasoglu from way out there. It's an 8-point game.
And the confidence in her game to say, hey, I'm going to still let it fly. And that's the confidence that Florida has in her as well. They're going to say, hey, it doesn't matter if you haven't hit one. We want you to continue to shoot because we know that you will hit a shot for us from outside.
There's Nakasoglu again. Gators have attempted 34 threes. Program record is 39. Danielle Rainey buries another Gator triple, 12th on the day.
And we knew coming into this game there's going to be a lot of three-point shots up. And that's exactly, it hadn't failed us. There's a lot of 3 points that have flown, and right now Florida is hitting them. They've hit 12 threes in this game already.
121 total shots in this game. 56 of them have been threes. 5-point game. Chance to cut it to 1 possession. Williams is fouled underneath. Team foul number 2 on Arkansas. Taylor Thomas picks up the foul.
And I mean, Florida's guards doing a great job right now.
Left arm sitting on the bench.
It's just good to see her back with the team.
Meanwhile, the Gators trying to trim this to 1 possession. Tie-up will be Arkansas basketball.
Coming out of a timeout, if you're Florida, that's not really what you wanted. You wanted to get a good look as they're going to reset the shot clock. And unfortunately for them, they didn't get that look. But as we've seen in the game trend, as it's been, and then what Arkansas does is they're going to shoot quick. So if you're Florida, you know you will get the ball back fairly quick. There's
going to be a lot of possessions in the final 3 minutes. Dungy slashing to the rim again like she's done all day.
Within 3 seconds, they're down there and they're looking and they're scoring.
That cuts at a stretch of no field goals in the last 3 and change minutes. 19 points off turnovers now for Arkansas. They balloon it back to 7, final 3 minutes. Post touch for Williams in the lane. Gators 1 and done.
And interesting for Arkansas. Coach Neighbors comes out and says, hey, we're going to hold it. So it doesn't look like they're going to score as quickly as they have looked to in previous possessions.
Only 5 to shoot. Zimmerman looking for a dagger. It should be Florida basketball on the alternating possession as Smith and Thomas jawing back and forth.
A little heated on the rebound. Both wanting to get the rebound for their team.
Britt, there you see the senior leader, Funda Nakasoglu, just talking right to Kiki Smith after all of that, saying just keep your calm.
Yeah, just keep the cool. Right now, yeah, Florida does not need a technical or anything like that right now when you're trying to fight back into this game.
Take another look.
You can see a tie-up on the end. And actually, I don't think Kiki Smith says a word.
I believe we have double technicals on Thomas and Smith, so that's the delay in the action. You see the extra jawing back and forth after the tie-up. When you get in these conference games. So it's Danielle Rainey and Taylor Thomas, double technical fouls. Didn't see where Danielle Rainey got in the mix.
So see, I didn't think Kiki Smith didn't have a response. She just kind of stood there, and Thomas was kind of drawing at her. But I think the tech came in when Rainey came back to the side. So a double technical foul on both of them. And you see Thomas now out for Arkansas.
Meanwhile, the Gators running out of time, approaching 2 minutes to play, down by 7.
And Zimmerman stuck like glue onto Funda right now on the offside. No help side defense.
Johnson off the bounce for Williams. Good look on the inside, 5-point game.
So smart by Florida. You know, you can't get the 3 from Funda. It's not open. So you're going to go ahead and take what the defense gives you. And that's inside with Zeta Williams, a quick, easy 2.
Monk on the drive, the wild leaner for 2. She is cold-blooded. Timeout.
And just her ability to get to the...
Meanwhile, for the Gators, De Oliveira is out there with 4 personal fouls. Here's Smith, who started the game 4-4 from 3. Rainey, another triple. Well off the mark. Last touch, Arkansas. Rather, Florida will be Arkansas basketball.
And Zeta Williams trying to get in there, but a lot of bodies converging on her on the rebound. And I think that's one of the reasons why Florida's guards have gotten a lot of rebounds right now, is because Arkansas is coming in on her on rebounds, where she tried to get a tip out. She thought her hand got hit, but it didn't, and Arkansas gets the ball. But what a great steal. Just on-ball defense by Kiki Smith, who hits hard against the backstop.
So Smith, a chance to get points with the clock stopped, and an absolute must-have takeaway for this Gator defense. Again, against an Arkansas team that is so disciplined on the offensive end, only 8 turnovers today.
You talk about a must-need, a defensive takeaway, and Kiki Smith got it. Florida needed that with just 1:09 left in this game.
Only 2nd Arkansas turnover of the latter 20 minutes.
I mean, really, for Florida, you can't talk enough about the guard play. They've really came to play and stepped it up this game.
One out of 2 for Smith. For the Gators, you don't have to foul yet, but it's imperative to have a defensive stop. They turn it over again, loose ball from Monk. Now the foul is given on Nakasoglu with 50.4 to go. It's only Nakasoglu's first. So the Gators have to foul one more time to get Arkansas into the bonus, into the foul line. Arkansas, a team that has shot it very well at the line over the last 5 games. And we'll give it to Chelsea Dungy, who's a team best 78% at the line.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the unfortunate thing for Florida is this Arkansas team is 2nd in the SEC in free throw percentage. So they go to the line and they knock down shots.
13 of 17 today. Dungy 4 of 5, and you have to think if they can hit their free throws, that would seal this out for the Razorbacks. In a program in year 2 under a new head coach and Mike Neighbors, trying to get to that upper third of the SEC, to many around the league surprise. 8-point game, final 40 seconds. Danielle Rainey to the basket, just lifts off. Williams dances up.
And just misses a nearly potential three-point play. But again, for Florida, the clock stops. And you've got to step to the line. They're only 6 of 12 from the free throw line this afternoon, but you got to step up right now. You're a junior, you got to step up and hit these free throws.
Gators, meanwhile, 6 of 12 from the line today. It's been a struggle all season for Williams at the free throw stripe. Now 0 of 3 today.
And free throws is a game. A lot of times free throws can win and lose you ball games. And I think that's why coaches harp on them so much is that's the easy points, they say, from the foul line.
Dungy lost it for Mason. When did the Gators foul? Inside 30 seconds to go, and the foul is given.
You can see they had 3 people trying to trap the ball. They did a good job of closing off Zimmerman. She didn't really have a lot to go with.
Meanwhile, Mason to the line, a 69% foul shooter. You have to think at this point, Gators need a quick 3. It's a 9-point game. Contested triple, and that could do it.
And you see Coach Cam saying, "Don't foul, don't foul." He's saying, "No, don't foul." And I don't know if they heard. He was trying to say, "Don't foul, don't foul," because he knew, just like you said, on the missed 3, to go ahead and let it ride out.
Well, this is a game in which Florida once had a 15-point first-half lead. But it's a Gator group still trying to learn how to play a full 40 minutes. And Arkansas has certainly come a long way into figuring that out. This is a team that was 3-13 in the league a year ago.
Yeah, Arkansas, you give them credit. They've done a great job of turning it around early in the SEC. About to walk away and be 5-2 in the early parts of the SEC play.
This game is closer than what the final box score will indicate, as this one will bleed down to double zeros. Arkansas gets the road win, improved to 16-5 on the year, 5-2 in the SEC, and they have won 4 straight. An impressive performance from the Razorbacks from the second quarter on, and they knock off the Florida Gators 83-73. Gators will be in Knoxville, and Arkansas will host Georgia, and will be on the SEC Network Plus Thursday at 8 Eastern. So Arkansas wins it by 10 for our entire crew here in Gainesville. And for Brittany Davis, I'm Kyle Crook saying so long and good night from Exact Tech Arena.